good, Mzansi? Thanks once again for joining us on A Moment of Tech with V, where we chill out with some of the coolest brains in the industry. And today I'm chilling with a very special gal. I will introduce her shortly. Just some quick house rules, guys. This is purely for educational purposes. So the views expressed on this platform are ours. To have Thuli, where are you sitting? In South Africa. Where you at, babes?
Like currently in Bloem.
In
My
Bloem.
house, yeah.
Nice. How's everyone in the Vrystaat?
I don't know. I haven't really been outside. Like I've been tired from the move and stuff.
Shame, man. Oh, yes, shame, guys. Thuli had to do a bit of a move from Cape Town all the way to Bloem. But yeah, I'm glad you settled, I hope.
Yeah, I'm settled now.
Love it. Awesome. Thank you so much for making time to chat to us this morning. We just want to get to know you. And moral of the story, this is your story, and maybe can touch another little girl's life out there. I mean, I wish I had somebody, back when I was still kind of coming up in the tech space, to kind of share some of their insights, because we don't know who to reach out to. It seems like everybody's kind of preoccupied. So thank you for sharing today.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's go. Icebreaker. Let's go. Okay. So let's say I meet you at a corporate function. What alcoholic beverage are we buying you out on the streets? What are we getting you?
Bombay gin and what's that thing again? That pink lemonade. I can't remember what it's called.
Oh,
no, that
yeah,
pink tonic. The pink tonic.
The pink tonic. Cool. So, guys, if you find Thuli out on the streets and you want to just ask her a question or two and you want to invite her over for a drink, please head on out and get her a Bombay gin and a pink tonic. That's it, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Let's jump into it. So Thuli, guys, is a developer, and she's been doing it for just over 4 years. So we all want to know, did you just kind of fall into development? I mean, you went to Stellenbosch. Did you just say, okay, cool, I'm going comp sci into development? How did it all start? How did it all happen?
Let's just say I didn't know what I wanted to do, because I had an interest in a lot of things.
Nice.
And then I remember IT in school being that one subject where I didn't have to spend as much time studying as the other subjects. And the coding was nice because, during a coding test, if you're stuck, you can kind of fix it. It's not like we write down an answer, then you must wait to see if it's right or wrong. Yeah. And then I think one day, I was standing outside the classroom, which was the computer room anyway, and our IT teacher told me, it's like, you may not have the best marks in the class, but you generally have an aptitude for this, you understand what is going on.
Yeah.
And I kept that in my mind. Wow. So when I was applying in grade 12, so 2012, I applied to Stellenbosch first.
Okay.
And then I finished my application, and then I remember how I was like, I want a gap here because I'm not sure, because the thing is, how do I put this? I'd spent the majority of my childhood being obsessed with fashion and wanting to be a fashion designer. And then I was like, I'm not sure. So let me take a gap here, explore the fashion thing, and then see if I actually want to do it.
Nice.
Then if I don't want to do it, then go to varsity.
Yeah.
And obviously I had a lady who helped me along. She has her own business, and then she showed me the ropes. And then I remember the day these two ladies walked in with this material.
Yeah.
Pleather's a better word. Fake leather tapete type looking.
Yeah.
And the one wanted a skinny jean jumpsuit.
Wow.
And the other one wanted a Michael Jackson jacket dress. In that moment, I was like,
what?
No. I'm going to varsity next year. No. Because I was to struggle with the industrial sewing machines with that material. And I thought to myself, I'm like, I don't have the patience. I can't. No, I'm not ready.
Okay.
So fine. And I was applying to other places. I think I reapplied to Stellenbosch. Found all my information was still there. And I was like,
nice.
I don't have to.
Easy. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember I had to apply to UP and other places, and I'm very slow at forms.
It's adamant.
I hate forms, and literally people wanted motivational letters, and I'm thinking to myself,
Oh,
what am I supposed to say?
I want to
And I
be a
just want.
scientist. I don't know, you know?
I was thinking to myself, like, what do people write on those things? Like, do you
Yeah.
write why you want to study the subject, or like,
Yeah.
my background is like this, so I need the opportunity. So
Amazing.
I was very confused, but then, and then at some point, the Stellenbosch, the acceptance letter came in the mail,
Nice.
and then I remember being like, thank
I'll
God
do
I don't
this.
have to fill in other things.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I was like, okay, fine, still fill in other things. But I was like, no, still fill in other
Just
things,
in case. Just in case.
just in
Yeah.
case. And
Yeah.
then when the letter for the, I can't remember what the project was called, where they pay your fees
Okay.
in full.
Okay. Is it
So
like a NSFAS kind of thing, or is it
not necessarily
like a bursary kind of thing?
like a bursary type of thing. So they paid your tuition like in full. So
Nice.
I didn't have to pay tuition. And then
So
after I got that letter, I was literally like, I'm done filling in forms. I'm
yeah,
going to Stella.
exactly. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's cool. So that means like, I mean, from just a development perspective, I mean, a lot of the guys that I chat to as well, it seems like you guys have a little bit of a creative spark. So do you kind of have to be a little creative to become a developer, do you think?
Mm, It has its advantages and
Okay.
disadvantages. Like,
Okay.
the thing is, you can always explore other avenues people don't think of,
Yeah.
but then you look for zebras before you look for horses.
Okay.
So you
That's
kind of have to always like rein it in and be
yeah.
like, no, this is a simple thing. It's not that complicated.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it's the same concept, especially for me.
Right.
Sewing was the same thing, and creating and being creative. You think
Right.
about something. If you don't know how to make it, you have to go research how to make it,
Yeah.
and then execute whatever you're making, and then learn from your mistakes.
That's awesome.
Same thing development is.
Perfect. And for the, for the unemployed youth, got a degree, struggling to find anything, how would you kind of advise them to get into the space? At home, needs to kind of like dabble into. I know, from a Java perspective, you can definitely get onto like your Coursera's and Udemy's, just to get onto some frameworks, whether it's a Spring, whatever. Anything that you would like to maybe just advise?
Um, okay, other sites need to be paid. Like, Google is your best friend.
Okay.
So Google, YouTube, you can literally find a 7-minute video to a 2-hour video on a topic. So depending on what you prefer.
Okay.
But currently I'm using LinkedIn Learn.
No, nice, nice. Okay.
Yeah, because it was free for the first month. And I was like, okay,
It's
this is gonna
free for
reflect on
me.
my LinkedIn. So I was like, okay, fine,
Yeah,
I'll do this.
I like
But
that.
generally, I just think it's about thinking about a project you want to do yourself
Okay.
and doing it. Like, that had gone way over my head, because I think like
Mm.
you don't actually do you don't get to delve into the nuances at work. So the
Yeah,
best thing to do is to actually just
side projects for sure.
side projects. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Okay, cool. So I'm gathering, you don't necessarily need a degree to get into, the space, but it does have a bit of an advantage. And always, for you to kind of get yourself out there, you need to start your own little side projects. And Google is clearly your friend, I guess. I'm assuming also Stack Overflow can also kind of help the developer who needs the assistance. I mean, how do you feel about Stack Overflow?
I think everyone uses Stack Overflow. There's some people that don't like it, that
Yeah.
I come across that are like, no, it's not a thing.
Yeah.
But it's like that whole community of having people that, I mean, it's not about reinventing the wheel
Yeah.
every time. If you're having a problem, check if somebody else had the problem first.
Yeah. And to
Same
see.
time.
And just see. So, I mean, to be honest with you, let me be quite frank. I mean, as somebody who's in the tech space, before I was even in the tech space, I didn't know what a developer does. So I would assume, you guys quickly go on to Google, put together some code, and then, produce the code and it goes into production. But let's talk about a simple day. What's your day to day? What do you actually do as a developer in the Java space?
Okay, a simple day would include stand-up, whichever time last company it was a 10. Was it a 10? It was at a time that I liked. Let me put it like that.
You guys don't wake up, no? You guys.
Yeah. So first you have like a stand-up. But this one, we had really fast stand-ups. Like I went from a company where stand-up was so long that I had to write notes and read notes as to say this is what's going on, to a company where like stand-up was supposed to be 15 minutes.
Yeah.
But literally the longest we've had it was like 5.
Wow.
It was like fast.
Nice.
And the whole idea behind it was different from what I was used to.
Okay.
So we'd have like stand up. Sometimes if, for instance, let's say somebody got stuck on something yesterday that we'd like the team input on, then we'd actually just extend, have a meeting straight after that and get the team's input. And then usually it's like picking something from the ready column, but it's obviously company dependent.
Yeah.
Yeah, but hey, like even that in itself is literally like you have to take the thing that's on top on the ready column, and I'm literally thinking to myself,
it might be
and then you're like, what is this? I don't know what this is. But then like you just have to go. It's the first thing in the just take it.
Okay.
Yeah, so that forced like a lot of courage and learning.
Nice.
And also we'd have, so obviously sit down with the problem.
Yeah.
Try and understand it. Yeah, I take like a day for problems to click.
Yeah.
Like I'm reading it, but
is it getting there?
Yeah. It's getting there.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then obviously solve the issue when I got stuck because I was a junior. I would ask for assistance.
Nice.
It became a bit challenging with COVID because then instead of asking the question verbally, I had to sit and type it on Slack, and I'd literally be like, I think this makes sense. Yeah. Like I actually get to a point where like I literally was like, I'm just gonna send it and literally just press enter
and figure it out.
And I hope I understand.
Yeah, and just figure it out. Sure, but you've had quite the journey, and I hope you're happy to share. I mean, from studies, BEng, really did great in your degree. Moved into a software engineering role. Went through the COVID craziness, then ended up finding yourself back into the unemployment market, back onto the job market. Like, how was that? I mean, what were you going through at that time? What was the feeling? That's crazy.
This is the funny part. I'd never actually been unemployed.
Yes.
Because I had to pay back my bursary. I got like hired immediately after. Wow. So this whole thing for me was like a new concept, like not having any source of income and having to get a job.
Yeah.
And I was literally like, I can't deal.
Wow.
Personally, when we got the letter, there was so much going on the letter, and like I don't know, there were like three, 4 reasons as to why we're being let go.
Yeah.
And I was literally like, okay. And then I didn't understand why everyone was like, no, we're gonna take time to process. You don't have to carry on with the work you were doing. And I'm like, I don't get why everyone's traumatized and they're not leaving. I'm the one that's leaving. Like everyone in the team was traumatized, and I'm thinking,
what's going on?
Why is everyone so touched? Like it's not that deep.
Yeah.
I really like I didn't think it was that deep.
Wow. And then it became that deep after a while.
And then it did, because now like interview after interview, and then rejection after rejection. And then you learn like stuff you never knew. Like I realized I have, if something is time blocked.
Yeah. It's going to be
Like,
tough. Mm.
yeah, like I even made peace that I get scores that in my mind, like I'm breaking records right now. Like I'm breaking records. But then I'm like, okay, fine. But the majority of the companies use that method.
Yeah.
So, like, how many rounds of offers in did I have?
Yo.
I think this is my fourth
Yo.
thing on offers in, and I'm thinking to myself, like,
Hey.
I can't deal.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot, and I mean, I'm assuming like a lot of the people are going through the exact same kind of almost trauma where you're like, okay, there's this assessment, and I've got no idea what the hell's going on this assessment, but you kind of have to do it to get through to a job. Is there any other alternatives that companies can use besides like timed assessments, like maybe a technical discussion rather than an actual timed assessment? I mean, have you maybe thought about maybe one or two other options that we can explore?
There are some companies that do this option where they have a session where they give you a problem, and it's like a meeting with other developers.
Yeah.
They give you a problem, and then you kind of talk through it and do it. That is nice because then you can say stuff out loud, and you can ask questions. The idea is not to check if you get it right, but to rather see where your thinking is and if you will gel with the team. Other ones are take home projects.
Okay.
Those ones are much better because
Okay.
I feel like you can then be mentally prepared. If you need a break, you take a break and you come back. Yeah. And also, that's the ones I've experienced so far. I can't think of another method because obviously they have to tell if
For sure.
if you're there.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I mean, I guess what I'm gathering is it's rather important to maybe have a few kind of ideas around how we can assess somebody from a technical perspective, because we all test very differently. But for the kind of the junior guys in the space, you're gonna kind of have to just keep pushing until we figure out a way on how to kind of innovate the testing space. But we'll figure it out. But for the unemployed guys out there, what do you say to them? What's your advice?
I honestly don't have any advice.
Okay.
Like it feels like being in a tumble dryer that's malfunctioning.
Yeah.
But I literally say so what I learned.
Yeah.
This like being unemployed from Jan is that do courses, maybe start a side project.
Nice.
Make sure you're on top of your finances.
Nice.
That is very, very, very important. And I guess if it gets to a point where you have to move provinces, even though you don't have to move provinces like I am now, you just do it.
Yeah.
Because at some point you just have to have like how do I put this? Let's say you want to stay in Gauteng. You should have like a time limit as to if things don't start popping up in Gauteng at this point, then I'm moving on to every other province.
I like that.
And also just, how do I put this? Trying to relax.
That's hard. That's hard.
It's very hard because obviously when you're panicking and you have to think,
yeah,
your mind does the gymnastics that will leave you wondering like, oh, that question, that this was the answer, and in that moment I like no cooking clue what was supposed to happen. So
it's awesome. Thank you so much. I mean, that's such brilliant advice. Just breathe. We're all in this together. Look, Thuli's today is far along stages, and I got the pleasure of meeting her through her process that I've been putting her through. And I said to her, look, it's important for you to also share your story. I mean, how crazy, from a full-time employment to complete restructure to unemployment, which, a graduate would have experienced, from the beginning, to now almost getting to, kind of signing a contract. So thank you for sharing, Thuli. And just to round it off a little bit before we leave, can people reach out to you if they if they have a few questions about your process or a few questions about your experience, just to have a little bit of a friend in the market, through this trying times? Is that okay?
Yeah, that's okay. I think you're gonna link my LinkedIn, right?
For
My
sure.
other social medias are non-existent.
That's okay, guys. So reach out to Thuli if you do need a friend. I'm also around, but thank you so much for sharing. And yeah, we send a lot of love to you. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Have a good one. Thanks for your time.
Bye.
Cheers. Bye.